Good night, everyone. Today is Tuesday, September 27, around 10 p.m. New York time, and we're gonna go with the daily technical video day, guys. What we are expecting? We are expecting a three-way move against the U.S. dollar. I believe that the market is very clear right now, and I believe that the dollar is gonna get weak in 3 weeks. Now, the degree it needs to be seen which way the US dollar is gonna go, but for now, what we see as the clear structure in the market is the Norwegian krone, which we see right here against the dollar that is showing a very nice wave A. When we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and even look the subdivision within the wave 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So very well defined structure. So what we are expecting in this pair, we're expecting A, B, Z to around 582, 585, and then another decline to minimum equal X. If we take a look at this pair in the 4-hour chart, we're gonna see that this is what we have. We have from the lows a very similar structure to the US dollar index. This pair, guys, trade well correlated with the US dollar index and with the euro dollar. Very well. I was telling the video that because this pair is from Europe and is one of the biggest oil producers in the world, that I like this pair. This pair is part of the dollar index, as you guys know. Now, what we see right here is a possible 3, 3, and 3. Let me point you guys out that this low right here is the 76.4 by the pit, and that these two legs right here, they pass a 1.236, but most also these two, they are almost equal. So technically speaking, this pair is calling for a decline to around 556 area minimum. So with that in mind, this is what you should expect in the euro. This is what you should expect in the dollar index. Now let's move on to the euro. The euro today, like we've been forecasting all week, we were expecting a bounce in the euro. We've been saying all week its signal is very slow today, guys. Let me see. We've been saying all week that we were expecting a bounce on the euro. It's coming up, and that's what we got today. So the move minimum for 145 looks to be over, either in a 3 or either in a 5. No matter what it is, you're gonna get A, B, and C. 2 minimum, and I will keep saying the word minimum, and I went in the seminar and I explained why do I say the word minimum. Minimum to around 39.55 area. I would get very surprised if the euro sold for 138. That minimum 139 can be very tradable right there. Now the euro in the 1 hour, this is what we see. The Norwegian krone, as you guys see right there, is already on the big way. Now I given the euro the chance here with discount 1, 2, and then you see the subdivision of the tree with no issues about it. We see 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, and a 5. This is the 2% of the proposal 1. The 30 area 2 is the area that we've been mentioning all day right here, and then we are expecting 2 scenarios. First scenario, from here a 5th way is gonna confirm the buy around this area, because then you're gonna have 5 ways higher, or it can go lower from here The way I see it is that the Norwegian crown is already here, so we are expecting a bounce in favor of the Norwegian. So maybe that's the fifth way on the euro and then three-way backs. But anyway, this is what we are expecting, and that should be the path that the dollar should follow tonight and tomorrow. Now, around the market, let me point you another euro pair, which is the euro yen. The euro yen, like we mentioned yesterday, was creating a bounce right here when the low, like we covered today, is nothing more than the low is the 618 of this move right here by the pit, and almost same structure, 1, 2, 3, now in 4, and we're expecting something similar also on the euro yen, minimum a three-way move to the upside. Now I want to point you guys out cable can be in two scenarios. The first one is this one, when we're still within the range of the previous 4, and I don't see nothing right there that invalidate discount yet. That's why we're still presenting discount. Or this can be D, and then from here we can go higher. So my best guess, avoid cable. Now the dollar CAD, which is one of the pairs that we have a position on it, it bounced from the 3802 pretty hard. By my guess, I'm seeing how the market should react. We should get one of those, something like this on the dollar CAD. For now, we should see a higher, then lower, something like that. I don't expect, to be honest with you guys, another low on the dollar CAD. If another low is happening, then validation comes around the 130 area, when it's gonna get in the territory of the wave 1. So I'm expecting this pair to first lift sideways for the next couple of days until we break higher. That's on the dollar CAD. Now Aussie still, if you see the count, still I believe that Aussie have three ways to move on. The first one, Aussie can get to a new low. Who knows? I don't think so. I think that Aussie is gonna make a fifth way, lower, higher, lower, like the euro. That's the most likely scenario in an Aussie trade. The same right here. Another way around is that Aussie goes a little lower on the B way and then something like this. Either way, no matter what degree we are, I think that a retracement to minimum around 103, around this area, can be on the book pretty soon. Now another important pair that I want to cover is the S&P. What a bounce. We mentioned this. So for us, it wasn't a surprise on the S&P. We wasn't sure in the idea that this was, or that too many nests. So what we're expecting on the S&P now, the same path. Finish 5 tomorrow, lower in B and higher in C. Now let's go to the metals a little bit. Well, before we go to the metals, let me show you another pair right here, which is the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar is very tricky, to be honest with you guys. Why? Because from here, I know that this is A and this is B, and from here I can see 1, 2 possible, 3, and we should be in 4. I cannot count the New Zealand dollar like the Aussie, unless the only way that you can be bullish this pair is 1, 2, 3, and then A, B, C, D, E, as a flat, as a triangle here, wave 4, and then an extended wave 5. That's the only scenario when I see this to be completed right here, in my humble opinion. Otherwise, this can be a nest, it can be many things. So the New Zealand dollar is not that clear in my opinion right there. Now let's go to the metals and let's start with gold. Gold looks to be in a wave 4. Now the counts, we can play with it a little bit. I don't think that gold is done to the downside, but if we're expecting risk to trade higher, look, when risk trade higher today, what gold did. Very interesting, right? So I'm kind of iffy with the gold trade, but that's what happens today when risk trade higher. Look what gold did. So the best count looks like is something like this: 1, 2, 3. Otherwise, this can be the top, and then gold can be nesting. If gold is gonna do this, gold can be nesting. Keep that in mind, guys. I don't think, but it's possible. Okay, guys, this is the US dollar index in 1 hour. Again, same structure as a euro, as every US dollar pair here. What you're expecting is 1, 2, possible a fifth way of, if it's negated, the dollar should trade back in 3 and another low to around the previous 4 right here in this area, around the 76 something area, as a minimum target for the US dollar right there. Now the US dollar in the 8 hour, you guys know the counts better than me. This is what we see. Doesn't look like the Norwegian crown right here. For me, it looks very similar. What you're expecting is minimum to 76, 77 in 3 weight, which is the previous 4 and the bottom of the previous 2 right there. That's so many times that a good indicator there of a correction right there to end. So I would like to be a seller of the dollar around this area. We have to make a decision about the Aussie trade. Is so good position, but at the same time, the system that we follow, the indicator system, is telling me that this is a wave 4 most likely. So that's about the dollar. Now still remember, we are a dollar bull and we're gonna follow this count until we prove wrong, but we see weakness in the dollar to around 76, 50, 76, 77 area. Now oil, very interesting, guys. What it did, we are expecting a low below this to complete a 5-way move. I'm sorry, an ABC. It negate the low today. Look, it negated by almost nothing. 79, 77, I'm sorry, 77, 11, 75. So either it's gonna do like the S&P, more consolidation, and this is W, and then this become S, and it's gonna go higher in 3 ways, like the like a S&P, or this is nothing more than wave 1 within C, 2 and lower. So be careful with the gold, with the oil trade, because metals right now, they're very tricky. Very tricky. We're expecting, if you're expecting the Norwegian crown to go lower, that means that oil should go higher. Against the dollar, the Norwegian against the dollar to go lower, that means that oil should go higher. The cat can get sideways, so I don't take in the cat as too much right there, but that can be the case, guys. Now, and finally, Cooper, I think that is within the wave 4. I want, like TV did, I mean, right here, Cooper, the low is the 1.618 right there by the pit, right here. So if you take a look at the weekly, at the daily chart in Cooper, what you got from the top is A, B, Z, right here. This is A, and then you got a B, we're expecting a flat as a most likely scenario. So if you take a look, this is the daily, it's pointing out to more downside, but well, invalidation to the count is right here, this low 385. So let's see what happens, but still this is gonna get lower, guys. No matter the structure, that's like Aussie can do 3 ways, 3 backs, is gonna continue lower. So in general, guys, for tonight, what we see, nothing more than possible US dollar weakness, US dollar strength, and US dollar weakness following that. All right, let's leave it there and get back to you guys tomorrow. Thank you.